or breach of privilege has been committed, or referring the matter to the Committee of Ethics and Privileges. Still, if the matter is raised in the Committee of the Whole, the chairman shall leave the chair on the order to report progress. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm here today because my privilege has been breached as a member of this all-important House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we passed the tax laws on this floor, and Mr. Speaker, I took my time in the last 3 days to look at the gazetted past copy, the vote and proceedings of the House of Representatives, and also went an extra mile to look at the vote and proceedings of the Senate of what was harmonized. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, what I passed on this floor is not what is gazetted. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I have all the copies, but I'm coming under privilege because I was here, I gave my vote, and it was counted, and I'm seeing something completely different. So on that note, on this privilege, I will call on Mr. Speaker to graciously look at what was harmonized, what is in the gazetted copy, what was passed in the House and the Senate. You will find out what is before Nigerians, which is being sold to Nigerians at the Ministry of Information, which I personally went to buy the gazetted copies, are not what was passed. So there is no motion here, but Mr. Speaker, I'll be pleading that all the documents should be brought before the Committee of the Whole. The whole members should see what is in the gazetted, should see what they passed on the floor, so that we can make the relevant amendments. Mr. Speaker, this is a breach of the Constitution, this is a breach of our laws, and this should not be taken by this honorable House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
Thank you, Honorable Abdul Samad. Your observation is noted and action will be taken. I assure you that. Thank you.
Hello everyone, did you just watch that video? Hey, of Vevekuve. If you're not angry, I don't know what is it that can make you angry in Nigeria. Tinubu has really carried forgery to the top level in Nigeria. I mean, something we see someone who came with what did we not see? He graduated from a school at a time that the school did not even exist. We saw his Chicago certificate. Where is it him? The school do they have it? They don't have it. He said the one, it was a female, it became a male. You saw fake bishops, you saw all manner of things. Now you are seeing a fake gazetted law. That lawmaker, looking at that video, you could see that lawmaker standing to say that, look, the law that was passed by the House of Representatives, because he's in the House of Representatives, he can only speak for House of Representatives. The one that he knew was passed is different from what was gazetted. So now you will now come and say, so if we pass law, we must check every word to be sure that somebody did not change it somewhere. There's no integrity anymore. This is fraud. This is, when you come about forgery of the highest order. This is huge forgery. And that law, that tax law, is null and void and should be made null and void. They need to go back and they do what they do. Before even that, this whole tax, it's absolute nonsense. You're not going to be taxing people to death when you have not done the things that you're supposed to do. Subsidy has been removed literally in everything. There is no subsidy in petrol. There is no subsidy in electricity. These were things that were done before, that citizens could have a little bit of respite. Yes, there was a lot of corruption in one of these. I have always been for subsidy removal because I do not see any reason why we should be subsidizing petroleum and not diesel that is used commercially and is used in industries. That has always been my stance right from 2011, 2012. Even during Occupy Nigeria, it was one of the reasons I was never part of Occupy Nigeria. I absolutely believe in it. But you do not come and remove it, and you are still spending that money. That money is not being spent. The nation is not being seeing it. And I see reason, even for the people, most of the people who then were against subsidy removal, they were always saying that the corruption, and I then would say, why don't you fight the corruption? You've removed subsidy. You've removed subsidy from electricity, from petroleum, thrown people into unprecedented hardship. The money is the essence of say, oh, the subsidy have been removed. Nigeria will not need to borrow anymore. Tinubu has borrowed Nigeria to death more than any borrowing, combined together. He has done all of this, yet he's still taxing more people. Money is not in your hand. He has taken away this thing. More money that is supposed to come to you, even before it comes, he's going to tax you to death. And then all of that with nothing on ground other than grand corruption that you see everywhere. Roads in Nigeria are so bad that it just makes you want to puke. But yet, trillions, is it 15 trillions or thereabout, that was set aside to do the Lagos-Calabar coastal way. Is it coastal way we need now? Opportunity cost, what is that thing that we need the most? But it was not done. But all of this, let me even come back to the main focal issue of this particular lawmaker who raised this issue to say, look, the law that was passed is different from what was gazetted. And you know, for some people, they came out to say, oh, you know, it's some typographical error. So it's not as if it is one big deal and all of that. No, it is a big deal. It is a huge deal. There's nothing like typographical error. A law is a law. Even if it's full stop, you cannot move the full stop from one place to another. Or the full stop, or there's a place where there's no full stop, and then you come and put full stop. No, even punctuation, you cannot change it because that is law. For you to change it, you have to go back and amend it. So now when you do this and they send it to him for assent, an illegitimate president standing and looking at all the things that we are doing, they send it for you for assent. You amend it there, assent. You know, it is no longer law. It is no longer a law. It is no longer an act that can be signed into law. You've already altered it. There is forgery. Beyond that, also, is looking at this whole MOU that Tinubu said he's going into with France. Every other francophone countries, they are driving away France. The way France has held down the jugular of countries. And then Tinubu will now come and sign us off as slaves to France. We finished with UK. Have we even finished with that one? Then we'll now come and have another tax master on our head that will be telling us everything. And you're signing an MOU. People don't know what is in the MOU. And someone, you know, I was on yesterday. I was on a media house, you know, being interviewed, and the person said to me, "Oh, but you don't, the journalists, oh, but you don't know, you people don't know what is in it. Why are you now? Why are you protesting against it when you don't even know what is in it?" I said to him, "Isn't that a problem? How is it Tinubu and boys and girls company we are talking about, or Nigeria we are talking about? How can someone going into an agreement with all of us 220 million citizens and people that are yet on board, Nigerians that are yet on board, this law will be binding on them, or whatever MOU that they are signed will be binding on them, and then you now come, it's now signed, we don't know anything about it. Isn't that a major problem that people would say?" I would just say, Daily Trust did a whole article on it where they say tax laws altered, and they put some of the section. Let me just read this this particular one. It says the law that was passed by the by the House of Representatives. It said the tax authority shall have the power to investigate or cease an investigation to be conducted to ascertain any violation of any tax law, whether or not such violation has been reported to the relevant tax authority. This is what Nigeria Tax Administration Bill 2025 passed by the House of Representatives. The one that has been the official gazette, this is what it says. The tax authority shall have the power to investigate or cause an investigation to be conducted to ascertain any violation of any tax law, whether or not such violation has been reported to the relevant tax authority, and shall also, so you see now, and shall also, from here is an addition that they did. This is an addition that they did. This is not typographical. All whole things are added. They say they now added, and shall also have the power to arrest any person suspected of committing such violations through relevant law enforcement agency. This is just one of them. Nigeria Tax Administration Act 2025 official gazette. This is not just a typographical. You are adding to his own law. How many other things has he added? And I will just round up by saying what Kalu Aja said. He said, wow, what's happening? The entire tax reform bill as gazetted should be stood down. A new version passed and signed page by page. The budget documents are signed page by page. Also, the highest effort must be made to determine when and who uttered these acts of parliament. I'm officially afraid, he said. This is criminality at the highest order. Tinubu has carried forgery to the highest level in Nigeria.